Hello and welcome to the IPF 2021 World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships. We're here in Stavanger, Norway. We're in day 3. We've already seen some phenomenal lifting here this week. We had a really popular win yesterday. Norwegian lifter won in front of his home crowd and took the roof off.
Yeah, look, and he had to work hard for it as well. He got off to a pretty rough start, but in the end he pulled an incredible deadlift. As we know, he's a great deadlifter.
And it's great to be in a position where we can welcome an audience to a championships like this, because the crowd support yesterday and all week has been phenomenal. So we have the 69 kilo women here for you in this session. We have 3 sessions running today. We have 69, 63s and 83 kilo classes. But first this morning we have the 69s, and we're going to run this as one group. So everyone will come out and do their squats, everyone will come out and do their bench, and then we'll move on to deadlift.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting session. I mean, every session so far has been pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And I think this one is shaping up to be a pretty good one as well. We've got some pretty big names in here. Some people coming back, hitting again. Some of them have competed in this competition in Dubai back in 2019. So it's been a little bit of a gap between this competition. We usually see it every year. So it gets a little bit unpredictable when you have this sort of space here.
In a few of the competitions, we find it really difficult to predict where people are with their training. And PBs they might have set before lockdown aren't really relevant to these competitions now.
Yeah, look, over the last couple of days we've seen, nominated favourites have to work for every kilogram to try and keep ahead. They've nominated, you expect them to be a clear favourite, and all of a sudden your top 3 are 2.5, 5 kilos between all of them, and it's coming down to the last lift, which makes for absolutely exciting competition.
And of course, maybe the lifters don't want quite as much excitement as we've had.
Yeah, and of course yesterday we saw Kimberly Johnson try to pull from 3rd to the gold medal on that final deadlift as well, and it was so close.
It really was. I think we are ready to get going in this session, and we have Catherine back coming out for 170. Now we've seen quite a bit of Catherine recently. She was in Romania. She's a masters lifter, M1, just popped up into the M1 class.
Just snuck into the M1s.
Yeah, and she pulled a world record at that competition of 2:33. But here we are in the open, and she has 170 kilos on her back.
Gets down nice and deep. It wasn't super clean, but she handled it really well. And clearly she's chosen an opening weight that if the first lift nerves get a hold of me, I can hit it anyway.
Yeah, she's such an experienced lifter. And she squatted 182.5 in Romania in August, but she's been very busy. She did the European Masters, the European Open, the World Masters, and this has all been in the space of 3 months. And we've seen quite a lot of lifters with a really compressed competition schedule.
Yeah, it's been a very, very busy schedule for a lot of them.
So we have Carmen Kalila, next from Estonia. And she's asked for 180 to open her account.
Yeah, it should be well within reach. Her development over the last several years will be quite rapid. She's still quite young.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than she's done this year. She only managed 175 at the Euros in August. That didn't look super deep or super easy.
Yeah, knees pop forward a little bit there. Yeah, she didn't get down deep enough. So I think she got a little bit out of position. We might see on the replay she sort of shifts forward a little bit.
Yeah. But it's difficult to really understand where you are when you've travelled some distance to get here and you've warmed up. It's reasonably early in the morning.
And particularly in equipped lifting, it's adds some extra challenges to the day.
So quite often you see someone come out and they don't quite manage their first squat, but they absolutely nail it on their second. And here we have Lauren Elder from GB. She's actually from Northern Ireland. And she's opening her squat with 190. I think this is already a PB, so training must have been going really well.
We talk about the unpredictability, and this is a great example.
I'm not certain of depth on that one. She's got huge long femurs.
Yeah,
No,
didn't
not
quite
deep
get
enough.
there.
And if we look, she has such long legs, it's really hard to sit back far enough to get that to depth.
Yeah,
Just managing
just shy.
parallel.
And also Sundström, who is following Horna. Well prepared.
So we have Ivana Horner, another lifter that's been quite busy. She was at the European Open and she was the bronze medalist in Halmstad at the Classic competition as well.
So a busy week, or busy few months, and
Yeah.
then to add this in as well. It's
And
been a tough schedule for a lot of athletes.
it
We had
has.
Lithuania bench only as well.
And I think this is miles above what we've seen her do before. She's
Yeah, we've got her listed
mainly been
177.5.
She's mainly lifted classic. She's not done much recently equipped.
Ivana Horna, Slovakia.
And at the Euros, she did 177.5. This is 190 kilos, so a huge increase.
Start for Ivana.
You can see having to really push through the suit and the wraps there. She moved the weight quite quickly, quite well.
Yeah, we're used to it.
And she gets the
That's a
depth
good
as
lift.
well.
Brilliant. We've got one on the board. So we're quite familiar with Ivana. Quite often, a lot of her lifts look quite hard, but that was relatively easy.
Yeah, she moved it very well.
Bar is loaded for Frida Sundström, Sweden.
Frida Sundström from Sweden next, also for 190. Haven't seen her on the international circuit before.
So listed at 185. Obviously Sweden, the home of Iliko. Putting plenty of support behind powerlifting and behind the Swedish team.
Looks a little bit nervous. Knees were wobbling a little bit. But that was a
That move
strong
is super
squat.
fast.
Very easy, let's see what the very say.
And she gets 2 red lights on depth there.
Yeah, there's different failures from each
Did she
referee.
get a
though,
lockout
so
there? Did she lockout failure?
there was a blue card, so that is lockout. It can be for downward movement of the bar. That failure has changed. Up until this year, it was a yellow card failure. But that changed this year to a blue card to bring it in line with the rest of the squats. So that might have been a downward movement of the bar. Here's Kimberly Cowell for 195. This isn't, she's right up against her PB. She's done 197
Yeah, did
and
she
a half
do
in
that in Dubai?
competition.
Did she compete in Dubai? I think she did.
She did. I think she got 200 actually in Dubai. Yeah, so 197 was her recent PB though. She did that at the British Equipped. I think that was a nominated squat. So we've got a couple of British lifters in this session. Always makes it a bit harder on the coaching staff.
Depth looks
looked
good,
Oh
but
no!
she just didn't get the speed she needed.
So maybe just first squat nerves.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I mean, it's early in the morning, first round. She gets down deep, knees pop in a little bit, and chest just isn't coming up enough. Well, that's a really quite an easy thing to rectify, and I think it really was just her stiff nerves.
So we have Ines Kara from Austria for 200. She's done 210 in the past. She did 210 quite recently in Czechia at the Europeans. So this should be comfortable.
Oh, great technique.
Nice, that's lovely.
That is how you use wraps and a squat suit.
Yeah, she's got every right
You
to
get
look
to the
pleased with
bottom,
that.
you drop into it, and you get everything you can out of it.
And yeah, she got everything she could out of her equipment there. Brilliant. Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador. Quite a big team from Ecuador.
Yeah, quite a large one this year.
She's coming out for 210.
And platform crew just getting the rack heights correct.
Bar is loaded for Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador. Vamos.
She lifted in Dubai. In fact, we've seen her on the international scene quite a few times now.
Yep, every bit of experience on the international stage is
Absolutely,
priceless.
because it's so nerve-wracking to be here so far from home without your usual support crew. And you walk out in front of cameras and lights. That was a lovely squat, really efficient.
Smooth all the way through. She stayed in position really well. She gets one red, but that's not anything to worry about. 2 to 1 gets it on the board.
Is good enough.
Yep, fast into the bottom. Use that speed and momentum.
Chichera Tavares, Brazil, for 220. We're getting into some really big numbers now, and we still have 5, 6 lifters to come out for their openers. And we have some really big names still to come out.
Bar is loaded for Chichera Tavares, Brazil.
I think this might be an M1 world record.
Vamos.
Yeah, we've got 2:15 listed as the world record. But we'll just check our data.
Yeah, it's not come out. It's not come up on the screens. But I do think this is an M1 world record.
(220 kilograms). And this isn't even the biggest opening squat.
No, not by some distance. And it wasn't super
And
easy.
she's still got a bit left in the tank there as well.
No,
Oh, she doesn't
not
get deep enough there.
It goes to depth. 2 rep laps.
Yeah, a little bit shy on the depth. I don't think that's going to affect her too much. The weight moved well. She's going to be confident. Just a case of pushing down a bit further.
So we have the hometown lifter coming out next and the support in the crowd. I mean, I'm sure you can hear it. This is Alina Skalleberg from Norway for 227.5. That's a very popular lifter here in Stavanger.
Yeah, it's great to see the crowd here, not just supporting their own countrymen, but supporting everyone.
There's a little bit of a shaky walkout.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you've walked out a squat with 227.5 kilos on your back in knee wraps, then...
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. Great technique there. You can see her lift the head and chest up as she gets to the hip movement. Gets it on the board very nicely.
And she absolutely skips off the platform. You know what, I think this is her first international, and she's put a brilliant squat on the board in front of her hometown crowd.
Great technique.
Some serious squatting. These little women, they are so
So, Katrin Silberzahn from Germany. She's asked for 230 kilos, which is right up against her PB of 235.
Gets a big breath in. Pushes into that big SBD belt. Does she get deep? Yeah, she's sinking down. She took a long time at the bottom.
I think that was the problem. She was trying to squeeze down to depth, and her coach was calling her down, 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 and she spent so much time down there with that huge weight on her back.
Yeah, look, and in equipped lifting, when you spend a lot of time at the bottom, you actually begin to lose the kinetic energy that's building up in those knee wraps and building up in the suit.
Next up, Kelsey McCarthy, USVI. I think she won in the 72s in Dubai.
Come on.
So we've had a bit of a change around of weight classes this year. So this is a 69 kilo class, but last time this competition was held, Kelsey was in the 72s.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you have a bit of a change around in weight classes, particularly when you go down a weight class. It can be quite an adjustment. And particularly when you're used to training one way and with particular weights, and then you drop a weight class, all that changes. A little bit awkward just trying to set up there. She steadies it very well there. Oh, nice drop in. Oh, but just lost balance at the top.
That's a shame.
Nice drop in at the bottom. Just lost
Do you know what
balance
though?
at the top.
She's got the strength. That's the important
Yeah,
thing.
look, this technique is great. She gets down to almost depth, drops into it.
Just came up a bit out of line. Spotting crew kept her safe, and she's strong enough. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
You correct technique,
And that's
but
the
you
thing
can't
with,
add
with
strength.
an opening lift. When that happens, it doesn't shoot your confidence around too much. You know you can handle the weight. In fact, it often improves your confidence on the second lift, knowing that you can push down a bit further if needed.
Now here we have Anna Rosa Castellane, many-time world champion. She's been busy as well. She's been lifting raw and equipped. She was at Halmstad
And
a few
throw in
weeks
some
ago.
refereeing as well.
She has already been refereeing here, yeah. I don't think she was at Dubai last time we did this competition. Now, that was strong.
She's
Was it
looking
deep?
very strong. It
2 to 1,
was.
it was.
She's looking very strong today.
Yeah, just about managed to get to depth, and it comes up really well.
A new junior world record.
So we have Sonia Stephanie Kruger now. We've seen her a lot recently. We've seen her at the Euros, the World Juniors,
Yeah,
the World
she's
Bench.
for such a young lady, she's a very accomplished lifter. And this will be a world junior record.
On her opener, but we see this from Sonia Stephanie.
And
She has, I wouldn't even like to say how many world records to her name.
it's a very long list, and it's going to get longer. Depth is wonderful. Probably could have used a little bit more speed in the bottom there, but that
She
strength
is on the
has
board.
pushed through. She gets the world junior record, and I imagine she's probably going to take the world open record on the next lift, or go very close to it.
She was very deep on there. I think they were making absolutely sure that that was going to go.
Well, it's a really important thing on your first lift to be very convincing. If you're not convincing, you get pulled up. The next lift you come out, they're looking a bit closer.
So she has the junior world record in the 69 and 76 kilo class. And I think she hasn't got, it's Anna Castellane's world record in this class at 248.5. We're going to see
Well,
that fall
she-
today, I think.
She just opened pretty close to that.
We did. So as we go into round two now, we've got Kruger leading the way from Castellane from Scalaberg. And Catherine Back is out for her second squat at 177.5. Now we know Catherine as a big deadlifter. But this should be well within her capability. She did 182.5 in Romania in August.
It moved really well. Did she get down further enough? She does, just sneaks in there.
Good job, girl.
I mean, you talk about her being a good deadlifter, and we've talked a lot about powerlifting being biomechanics. And we saw a really good example yesterday of playing to your strengths. You know, get the weight in where you can.
Yep.
Just get just chip away on those ones that aren't your strengths, and then set yourself up.
Carmen Calula.
She's bringing some fire to the platform for this one. She didn't get it on her opener.
Just on depth, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need to throw in that little bit of intensity. Tell your mind and build that confidence.
You need to come out and calibrate. When you're lifting the equipment, your warm-up probably won't be to depth because you need the weight to drive you down. Now, she's put herself in a difficult position now.
Yeah, she just sort of got out of spot there.
There it went, yeah.
Knees were a bit
Balance
shaky.
went. So that's a shame. So Lauren Elder is coming out next for 195. That's the, she missed 190 actually. She's gone up 5 kilos. She looks strong.
Yeah, the bar moved really well. That was one of those moments, and I'm sure as a coach you have that moment, well, do I add an extra 5 kilos to make it easier to push down?
As we said, this is more than she's done before. I think her equipment is very tight. She's getting a lot out of it.
Yeah,
but she's struggling.
The weight
at the
is
bottom.
moving really well. And again, she's not getting
Not
down
quite
there. And this is a really difficult position for the athlete and the coaching staff now. You can see the equipment's tight. You know that an extra couple of kilos might fix the problem, but
she looks strong under the bar. I think she's got another 5 there.
I think there is.
It's a hard call though, isn't it?
And the difficult thing about it is suddenly the athlete is moving into foreign territory.
And the athlete may well be upset, be
Yep.
thrown off balance by going out for the 3rd time. So again, we have Frida Sundstrom coming out for 195, having failed 190. You wouldn't tend to do this in classic lifting.
Yeah, it's not something we commonly do in classic lifting. I think I said the other day I've done it probably twice in my career and got lucky. She's a little bit hesitant on the start there.
She's so strong.
The bar is moving really well. She hesitated on the start command a little bit. And I think it's really just a case of, I don't think the suit looks too tight. I think it's a case of confidence, pushing down through it and having the belief that she's strong enough. And she is well strong enough to stand back up.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm not quite sure what's happened.
Rack heights appear to be wrong. And now if it is a platform error, they'll restart the clock.
Yeah, it's hard for the lifter though, standing there in knee wraps.
Yeah,
and
that extra few seconds
you
makes a
get
big
yourself
difference.
fired up and you get the energy up to come out, and then you've got to damp it down again and wait. It's a really tough thing to happen. Okay, so
and
here's
that was
Kimberly
quite a
Cowell.
long wait,
It
that was.
It's hard to stand there in knee wraps. So she's come out for the same weight again. She missed this on her opener. She took it all the way to depth, I think, but didn't quite manage to stand
Look,
up again.
the important thing for her now is to stay really calm, get the squat command, and just take your breath, focus. And it just looks a bit on the heavy side. She's not getting a lot out of the equipment. She's quite slow in the bottom of that one.
It isn't unusual, though, to see lifters miss twice and come out and smoke it on their
Look, in
third.
equipped lifting, it's more common than not.
Yeah. So we have Ivana Horner coming out next from Slovakia, and she's asked for 200 kilos. She's well ahead of anything she's done in the past now.
Yep, I think you can scratch out that old personal best and just keep adding some numbers.
She's a great lifter. She shows such determination and fight. She'll come out and she'll pull a deadlift and you'll think, you know, not another gram will go, and she'll come out and pull 10 kilos more.
It's such an important tool to have as a powerlifter too, that ability to really grind. like that.
It always shows a lot of effort on her face, but a big smile at the top, and that is a great lift for Ivana Horner.
Below the belt, 212.5 kilos for Ines Kahler, Aguinaga and Tavares.
Yep,
Get
just
ready.
gets in the sticking point there, and you can see the head comes up, the chest comes up, the elbows come through. Technique, technique, technique.
It will get you a long way.
I guess that's the powerlifting version of location, location, location.
Ines Kahler, Austria, next for 212.5. Her 200 looked brilliant.
Austria.
Powerful walkout. Very conservative as well.
Yeah, and I really like a conservative walkout. There's so much energy being used. And again, that technique is just wonderful, isn't it? She just drops in, builds that kinetic energy up, and uses it immediately.
Drops in, depth for sure. Great lifting.
Great work.
Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador, for 222.5.
This will be a pretty big personal best.
Well above triple body weight now.
And she's having a great time as well. She is
Lovely.
so quick at the bottom, isn't it?
That was a phenomenal squat. There's
Yeah,
no wasted
it really is.
energy.
And this is the thing with equipped lifting too. I mean, you've got the potential energy of the suit, but you've got to use it quickly.
Yeah. So we have Chicheras Tavares from Brazil. Missed 220 on her open.
Yeah, she's
Gone
gone up to 225.
See if we can get a little bit more depth there.
Yeah, I think the extra 5 kilos will help here. Because it really was about getting down to depth.
So we're pretty sure this is an M1 world record. The in 69s is a standard because no one's competed in this class before. So the standard is 215.
So 225 will set the new world record.
That looked
Oh, that
very
looked a
good.
lot better.
I'm not certain.
And
It was
she's there.
fantastic.
She gets it on the board.
So she's added 10 kilos to the
And
M1 world
She
record
has
standard.
M1 world record at 225 kilos. That extra 5 kilo gamble did the job.
Katrin Silberzahn, Germany. She's opted to keep the weight the same. I think it was depth.
Yeah, I think it just needs to get focused in, sink it in. She's hung around the bottom a long time last time, and she's doing the same thing again.
This is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. It
she's
wasn't
just hanging
depth.
around the bottom way too long.
Her coach is still calling
Yeah.
her down, and she's trying and trying and fighting.
And what
the
happens
equipment.
with equipment is, I mean, the whole idea is you build up the potential energy, but you've got to convert that to kinetic energy quickly.
I think this suit just isn't letting her get down there. She's not able to push through it, which
Yeah,
is
so
a
you-
difficult
you-
thing to overcome.
Yeah, you've got
really.
a couple of options. You can try adding more weight, but that can be disastrous.
It can be.
And in this case, I don't know if that's the answer.
No. So we have Elina Skalleberg from Norway on the platform right now. We're getting a huge amount of support from the crowd, and I've just looked up. I think there's a whole classroom of children up there, which is fantastic. I think it's a class outing has come to watch the powerlifting. We need more of that.
Well, when you have the opportunity to go to a world event. Oh, great work.
That's 237.5
Great
kilos.
work.
And
Is
she's
this her
got it.
first
I
international?
think it is. I think it is. That's moved her into second place for the minute. She's got her family in the front row with signs and crown.
And I just
flags.
love the technique when she gets to the middle. She lifts the head, pops the chest up, the elbows come through so she can push the hips forward. It's absolutely spot on the money.
Kelsey McCarthy now for 240. She's an experienced competitor. She won't have let her missing her
No, I
opener
don't think
throw
she's going to let the 235 bother her too much. It was really just a little bit of a balance issue at the top. The speed was good, the weight moved well, just got a little bit out of position at the top.
So this will move her ahead of Skalleberg if she gets it. Manages to stabilise.
Yeah, she was a lot better in the setup this time. Drops in. That's
Super
better.
strong.
Yeah, she was a
But not
she
deep
didn't get
enough.
the depth. She was a lot more comfortable under the bar that time.
She was, and the strength is just brilliant. But
Yeah,
it didn't quite
just a
pop
little
down
bit
far
shallow.
enough. Next out we have Anna Castellane. Made short work of her opener at 237.5, gone up a full 10 kilos to 47.5, and this will put her in first place for the moment. However, Stephanie Kruger is about to come and attempt to put quite a lot of weight on the world record, so let's see what Anna can do first.
Well, she's looked strong on her opening lift. And I think the last time I saw her lift was probably in Sweden.
I think she's done Brazilian Nationals since then. Oh no.
Just didn't get the speed there. Yeah, and she made a really smart call there. She knew she wasn't going to push that through. I'm not going to use up the energy. I'm going to get it on a third.
Below the bar, 250.5 kilos.
So she's still in third place with her opener. And we have the incredible Sonia Stephanie Kruger coming out now.
Well, talk about incredible. She is going to add to the junior record, and she is going to attempt to break the open record.
Okay, we've just heard that Kelsey McCarthy has been overturned. She's on the board and she's in second place.
Oh, that's fantastic. That'll make her feel a lot better.
Yeah, so we have Kruger now for an open world record, still a junior
Yeah,
lifter.
so this will be the world open record and the world junior record.
So this is Anna Castellane's record that she set way back in 2013. Such an incredible young lifter.
Oh, look at the strength. Look at the power.
verdict?
And she
And
gets
2
it.
to 1. That is a new world open
Absolutely
record
fantastic.
for the incredible Sonia Stephanie Kruger.
Well, that junior record now is going to stand for a while, I think.
I think it is. She has such a huge collection in a number of age classes, a number of weight classes.
Wow.
So as we move into the third round, we have 5 lifters still to make a successful
yeah,
squat.
you know, you've got some experience in there as well.
We really have.
That are caught behind the 8 ball, but equipped lifting can turn around very, very quickly.
So we have Kruger leading the way from McCarthy, about 10 kilos behind, and right behind her we have Elena Scalaberg and Anna Castellane, both on 2:37.5. So this is anybody's game still. And I can see 2 more world record attempts coming up in the nominations. So first we have Carmen Kaljula from Estonia. This is her 3rd try at 180. I think she lost her balance. I think it was depth the first time, lost her balance on the last one.
She just needs to stay calm on the descent, drop in, and then bring the intensity. Don't get carried away here.
That's not deep enough.
I don't think it is. It's not, and yeah, she's going to be extremely disappointed with that.
That was a shame. She controlled the weight very well. She kept her position very well, but it didn't trouble parallel even. That's a shame. So Catherine Bach is out next for 182.5. This matches her personal best.
Third and last squat.
Not too much movement on the walkout, that's what you want.
You don't want to take it for a walk around the platform. You just want to be clear of the racks.
Well, it moved well. Let's wait and see what the referees say, and not deep enough.
Sorry, 2 to 1, no lift.
She'll have to settle for 177.5.
That's a shame because the weight was well within her capability. She had the strength. Okay, now we have a difficult time with for the British lifters coming up now. We have 2 British lifters coming out with nothing yet on the board. Lauren has missed on depth twice. She went up to 195 for a second and she's kept that weight. We actually talked about whether she put a bit of weight on.
Yeah, look, the weight moved really well.
It's such a risky move to do that with nothing on the board. So she just needs to, the suit looks very tight. She needs to, it's easy for us to sit here and say she needs to press down into the equipment.
Yeah, and sometimes in these positions you need to let the weight do its job as well.
That looks better. That looks better.
Can she stand? She does. And
oh, we've had a lights failure.
We're waiting for flags now.
Flags, please, referees.
And she's
see
on
whites.
the board.
It is. It's on the board.
Well, I tell you what, she nearly took James Brincat-Smith out and she went out, and that's not an easy task.
Okay,
fantastic. So we have 1 on the board. So we have the same situation coming up now for Frida Sundström for the same weight. Exactly the same situation. Open at 190, went up to 195. Coming out for the last time.
Yeah, look, and she is super strong. I mean, it's moving. It's really just about taking that deep breath, letting the weight do its thing, and have the confidence that you're going to stand back up. And she certainly has the strength for that. And the big crowd here is so supportive. Let it sink in. That looks better. She is so strong.
She really is.
It's really just the confidence, and she gets it on the board.
2 to 1.
And it really was having the confidence to get into that depth and know that you can stand up. And she can stand up. Look how fast this moves.
So strong. So we have the second of our British lifters out for 195 again. It hasn't been depth on this time. It's just seemed a bit heavy, but maybe they've tightened up the knee wraps. done everything they can. She needs to keep her composure. On the second, she was standing a while there was a platform issue sorted out, so...
And that can affect a lot.
Yeah.
When you've ever stood for a while in knee wraps, it's not the most comfortable experience. As soon as you finish your squat, you want to get them off.
I've just heard the coach tell her a belt's undone, so this will...
Yeah, look, she's just a little bit flustered. I mean, you've come out, you've missed your opening two. Things didn't go great on the second with everything that went on. She's a little bit flustered. She just needs to calm down. Just settle things down a bit. And once she gets the squat command, take your time.
And I think she's got it.
Well, she gets it back to the top that time. And she gets it on the board. You can see the relief. Yeah, and that was a really good example of how things can really upset your focus. I mean, she's walked out with the belt undone.
Yeah.
She was just very flustered, but she's going to feel the relief now.
So we have both British lifters on the board now. We still have one more lifter to come out for a third with nothing on the board. But we have Ivana Hornet coming out next for 210.
What is happening? So only one coach on this side, please. Okay? Bar is loaded for Ivana Hornet, Slovakia, 210 kilos. She already has her two first attempts. Let's see what's
Well,
the
her opener in a second looked pretty good.
They really did. And this is way beyond anything she's done on the platform before.
At 31 years of age, your career is really only just beginning to develop in powerlifting. Oh, that strength is just phenomenal. She has the best grind.
Not
Not
quite
deep enough, though.
2-1. Come here.
But
That's a shame.
boy, did she demonstrate that ability to drive through.
217.5 kilos.
She has more grind than most.
Get ready.
Even through that small mistake, small loss of position at the bottom. Ines Kara, Austria. Now she's looked superb.
Bar is loaded for
Yeah,
Ines Kara,
opening from 200, then to 212, and then a small jump down to 217.5, which I think is a really smart move. And we always talk about playing to your strengths. And she's brought some aggression to the platform for this one.
And that looked deep and it looks
And
strong.
it's up to the top. I think it's okay.
It's a good
It's a good lift.
Good job, girl. 230 kilos for Johanna Aguinaga.
That's great lifting there from Kara.
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous lift by Ivana Horna.
So we've just heard that the jury have overturned Ivana Horner's failed lift, the 2-1 no lift. They have given it, so she's on the board with 210.
Bar is loaded for
Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador, for 230. And she's got such a brilliant technique.
Yeah, she really does. I mean, she has very good biomechanics for the squat as well. And plenty of coaching experience in that corner.
Beautiful.
It's so fast
Please, behind the barrier.
easy.
and not quite deep
Not
enough
deep
on that
enough
one. I
this
thought
time.
it might be a little bit on the shy side.
So if you see that back from the side view, yeah, it just
Once
met
again,
parallel,
Just
didn't break
there,
through.
isn't it?
Need to coaches, just one coach this side of the platform.
Next up, we have our last lifter coming out with nothing on the board, Catherine Silberzahn.
And everyone in the stadium wants her to get this lift.
230 kilos on the bar for the third time of asking.
And you could see her for a moment there just look out to the crowd, and I think she is realising just how much everyone wants her to get this. Well, she's strong enough. It's hanging around the bottom for a long time, though.
I'm not
Does
sure.
she get depth on this one? She does. She gets it on the board.
3 white lights.
And
I
gives
was really concerned that she hadn't quite made depth.
And she gave a quick acknowledgement to the crowd there.
237.5.
Oh, just that last little squeeze down to the bottom.
Bar is loaded for Cicero Tavares, Brazil.
This is a world masters.
Cicero Tavares from Brazil is coming out now to extend the world M1 squat record that
Yeah.
she set in the second round with 225.
Yeah.
She's gone up a huge amount though.
It is, isn't it? She opened at 220, wasn't successful, went to 225, decided, yeah, I need more weight for the world record. And
This
now
gets her on the squat podium.
it's a big move, 237.5.
It's a big number.
Good walkout though, doesn't use too much energy at all in that walkout. Drops in nicely, come on, did that bar dip?
I think it did. That is such a shame.
Unfortunately, yeah, there was just that little bit of downward movement there, which is such a shame. It was such a strong lift too.
It is. It is. It's a harsh rule, in my opinion, the downward movement rule.
Yeah, you can see it just dip. It was so marginal, wasn't it?
So that was no lift, leaving her with a best of 225, but she still has the M1 record. Now here we go with Skalleberg for 245. She's not quite guaranteed the bronze medal yet. She's in bronze medal position. This will move her up to silver.
Well, it's moved well. I'm going to wait for the referees on this one.
Super strong.
And it is. It's a good lift.
She has the silver medal in her hand. Will she keep hold of it?
The excitement and the intensity in this stadium at the moment is just unbelievable.
And this will move Anna into silver medal position.
So Anna Castellane's coming out now for 247.5 for the second time of asking. I think it wasn't deep enough last time.
Yeah, look, she is super experienced, super strong. No stranger to any situation like this.
This gets her into silver medal position for now. But we have some big attempts coming up.
Depth looks better. Strength is solid. Stands it up very well. And it's
And
on
she's
the
got
board.
it. So she moves ahead of Skalleberg now into silver medal position on squat.
Now, does that guarantee? That guarantees her the bronze, I think, doesn't it?
She's
She's in the silver, but definitely guaranteed a podium.
However, we have Kelsey McCarthy coming out now for 255.5.
It's just a world record frenzy today.
It is. No, she could have taken 251 to go ahead of Kruger, but she's going for 255.5. She's pushing that record out to what she thinks she can get, and she's putting a crucial chip on it. Those chips really do come in handy at the end of the competition. This will move her up to gold medal position for the moment and get her the open world record.
Yeah, look, it's a big jump. 15.5 kilos.
She has done more than this weight in the past, but in a higher weight class. $255.5 kilos on the bar. Absolutely huge weight.
For a world
Well over
record.
500 pounds. Locks her elbows in.
Drops in. Just not quite there. She had nice technique. She dropped in really well, but I think that 15.5 kilo jump from a second was probably just a little bit too far.
This is probably where she expected to be on her third anyway. Just a bit too much. And here comes Sonia Stephanie Kruger for the same weight. She had the higher lot number, so she got to go second. If Kelsey McCarthy had got this, she would have had to go up to 256.
Yeah, and she's in a much better position too, because she's only had to move 5.5 kilos from a second.
I think it's worth saying though that guarantees Scalaberg the bronze medal on squat in her first international in front of her home crowd, and Anna takes the silver. Kruger has the gold medal on squat. This is to extend her world record.
Oh, that is fantastic. Wait for the lights. It's a good lift. I'll tell you what, one of the most incredible things about that lift was she got all out of sorts in the technique at the bottom there, but she just has the fortitude and the strength
and the
to bring it all back.
Never give up. Keep pushing.
That's a world record right there.
So
Absolutely
she
fantastic.
leads the pack now as we go into the rest of the competition, and she has 2 open world records under her belt already. I think we're going to see some more. We're going to take a 20-minute break now. Please join us back for bench. Welcome back to the IPF 2021 World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships here in Stavanger, Norway. We are through to the bench press round of the competition. We have the 69 kilo weight class on the platform at the moment in the first session today. And these lifters have all managed to get out of their squat suits and knee wraps and get into their bench shirts and warm up for bench in 20 minutes.
If you've ever been out the back at one of the equipped events, watching people get in and out of suits, and it is hard work. And we don't really often think about that in these events, but it's not just the amount of lifting that is energy draining. Getting in and out of those suits is really energy draining. Standing around in a bench shirt is energy draining as well. I mean, it's all part of this whole, competition endurance, isn't it?
It really is, and 20 minutes is not a lot of time to get out of your squat suit, let alone then get into your bench shirt, and it doesn't give you a huge amount of time. So this is why when you look at people's PBs and then you look at the numbers they put up on the platform, they're not always as well. It's hard to do your best work when you are rushed. You don't have a lot of time to get comfortable, and that's why we do see a lot of missed first bench presses.
It is a real challenge, but I'll tell you what, the squat session, what an amazing session. It's been an absolute bonanza, flash sale on world records here today.
Really
you can get your junior records, you can get your M1 records, you can get your open records. Come down here to Norway and get yourself a world record. It's been an absolute bonanza. And I'll tell you what, the bench is shaping up to be quite similar as well, I think.
Oh, Kruger's gone up.
You've got a couple of changes on the board.
Yeah, Kruger's gone up. She was at 175, and I looked at her and thought, oh, it's quite conservative for her. But she's put it up to 182.5, which is well in excess of the world record. That feels like a risky move.
I told you, it's a flash sale here in Norway today.
Okay, we are ready to go, and we have Lauren Elder from Northern Ireland coming out for 92.5. Lauren's a deadlifter at heart. Bench isn't, I think she'd be the first to say that bench isn't her first love.
Yeah, and you really need to play to your strengths. And when you get to a bench session, if bench isn't your strength, the idea here is, you know what, I'm just going to do what I can do.
As much as you can.
Get a few extra kilos under my total, and then I get into my specialty. That is
Look how far that
is tough to pull down. And see how fantastic those safeties are on the Eleiko bench there.
Yeah, without those safeties, it could be a very difficult, dangerous situation. But she had the spotters right there too.
Yeah,
She's
they do a great job, and you can see how quick those guys were.
So she'll have to come out and have another go at that. But that was well in excess of anything she's attempted before, so I think she's got a new shirt.
Yeah, and I think there's a little bit of adjustment. That shirt was really tight. She was really working through it.
Real struggle. So maybe they're just going to release the shirt and let her have another go at that. But we've got Frida Sundstrom now for 95. 5 kilos above anything she's done on the platform before.
Yeah,
nice
you could
and
see
easy.
the difference in the shirt setup there. Wasn't pulled down too far. It was just right. Oh, she's got 2 red lights though.
Oh, she's got yellow cards. So if we just
there it
the
is.
butt came up. So the head and the butt must remain in contact with the bench throughout the lift, and the feet flat on the floor. Catherine Back, Denmark for 102.5.
And you'll see experienced lifters aren't going to be too overly flustered by missing their opening lift on a bench. It's not uncommon in equipped lifting.
Absolutely. And we saw quite a few lifters miss their first 2 squats and come back and get their third. Oh, her shirt's slipping up as she presses.
Yeah, you can see that. And she
And I
clips
think
the rack, but I think she might be all right.
I think that made it harder than it needed to be, really.
Yeah, look, it's a tough sacrifice not wearing a belt on a equipped bench. You've got
Yeah,
nothing to hold it down.
You do see this, there's no belt, and you can see the shirt heading north, trying to strangle you. So we have Kimberly Cowell from Great Britain coming out next for 1:15. This is well beneath, she's got a stated PB of 1:30, so this should be comfortable.
So she had a bit of a rough time on squats. And the focus now is to just put that behind, move on.
So you really have to not let it fluster you, not let it get in your head about the rest of the competition. You just, okay, that was squats, I'm going to move on, time to bench. Keeps the chest up. Nice and easy.
Yeah, that was a good bench. 3 white lights, very nicely done.
Yep, keeps the chest nice and high and gets a good press out.
And the bar is loaded.
Cicero Tavares, Brazil, for 1:15.
Always interesting to see how everyone sets up differently on the bench. Everyone has their own little ways of doing things.
Well, there's a couple of things to consider. Your movement's very restricted, but also you don't want to be getting in a position where you're moving your shirt.
That was quite an interesting technique there. She got the press command and she waits a little bit
Just
and
took
then
a moment,
explodes.
Yep. So I will go when I want to go.
0.5 kilos, please, for Ines Carter, Austria. Horna, Silversand.
And it was quite good because as she pressed, she popped the elbows in,
Yep.
got them into position very nicely.
Ines Cara, Austria, 122.5. She did 127.5 in Czechia in August.
She's working it down. Smooth though.
A little bit of work to do. Nothing too dramatic.
Yeah, gets it on the board.
Below the bar to 125 kilos, please, for Ivana Horna, Slovakia.
It's a good elbow position there and keeps them in as well, which is really great to see. Quite often when it gets a bit tough, the elbows tend to pop out a little bit.
Ivana Horna now, 125. She had a great time on the squat.
Yeah, she's looking very strong. Did a very smooth bench there. She didn't really have too much trouble pulling down through the shirt. Came off the chest really well. Bar path was really good. Elbows are in position. And they stay in position all the way through.
Catherine Silberzahn, Germany. She had a difficult time on squat, didn't she? She only got her third squat in. And she did change her opener. I think she might have put it down. This is 135.
Yeah, and quite often when you do have a bit of a rough time on squats, you will reduce your opening bench because the emotional energy and physical energy that squat session has taken from you can really affect. And you also want to get that opening bench on to build that confidence back up again. And it moves
It wasn't
well.
super easy. wasn't in any doubt. She got a yellow card from the centre referee.
Bar to 140
Not entirely sure what for.
for Carmen Kaljula, Estonia, and the bar is loaded.
I can't really see there.
Obviously, that's a very different view to.
Yeah, and there was quite a lot of hip movement as well. That from the centre ref position can look like butt lift as well.
So we have Carmen Kaljula, Estonia, for 140. Taking quite a lot of time. She's only got 20 seconds left now.
You can see that shirt pressing her chest out. Gets to the lockout.
It's a difficult press, wasn't it?
Yeah. She gets 2 red lights there.
Okay, they're from the side referees, so we might be able to pick up what that was for on the replay.
Yeah,
there
right
we go. Butts off.
And I think that's what's actually caused the difficulty in the press.
It's unusual to see it come up on the
Yeah,
descent.
and when your hips come up like that, you can't produce the power in the press.
So we have the popular Elena Skalleberg coming out for 150. This is some big numbers for a lifter that we haven't seen before.
And she got the bronze medal in the squat, did she?
I think she did. Silver or bronze.
Oh, it's a bit offline there. She's brought it back well, though.
Oh,
it just
no.
got away from her.
No
And that is the perfect example of the shirt wanting to go one way and you wanting to go the other, and the shirt winning. Yeah, she gets offline. She gets it back okay.
But yeah,
And,
it just pushes it over the top.
I mean, that is the whole premise of the shirt. I mean, you're pulling the shirt down. You're fighting against it, creating that potential energy. And of course, it wants to go the easiest way.
We've got Johanna Aguinaga out now from Ecuador for 160. These are some huge opening benches.
Fast.
That was a great lift. It's just been pointed out to me that Elene Skalleberg was Elene Jorgensen, so that's why we haven't got any results for
will
her.
explain why we don't have
So
the
yeah,
data.
it would seem so. It would seem like it was a lot to ask for a brand new lifter to come out and be putting those sort of numbers up. So she was the 4th place lifter in Dubai. So we've got Anna Castellane coming out now for 167.5.
167.5 kilos.
Having a quick chat with the handoff crew, making sure she gets the bar exactly where she wants it.
And, you know, that's her experience too. I mean, it was a quick chat, simple instructions, nothing complicated. I'll set up, and this is where I want the bar.
She did 180.5 for a Pan American record back in 2019, so this is well within her wheelhouse. Not today, though.
Yeah, that was interesting. Hopefully we get to see the replay on that one.
The bar remains at 167.
It's a good touch position there.
Kelsey McCarthy, US Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the shirt,
Sometimes
you
don't
push
quite
back,
get it right,
you know, you
yeah.
push back half a millimetre too hard or too far, and that's what happens.
Kelsey McCarthy next, 167.5. Again, she's done 182.5 in the past. I think that was a little while since she's been up at those sort of weights, but she did do 175 earlier this year. So this should look comfortable, hopefully. Never any guarantees with equip lifting though.
Yeah, and it's just, particularly in bench. Oh, that's a tough touch point, but she managed it.
Oh, I don't think she has.
that was strong.
Did she
right
get the
arm
lock
lock
out there? She did not.
No. It just looked like the right arm never quite made it. I don't think we'll really see it from this angle.
It was a very difficult touch.
And it was up and down as well, wasn't it?
5 kilos for Sonia Stephanie Kruger. This will be a
So
new world open
we
record
have
in the
Sonia
bench
Stephanie
press.
Kruger of Germany coming out for a world open record as a junior lifter on her opening attempt.
182.5. No,
Now, we saw her struggle a little bit in Lithuania. She came out initially with no belt on at that competition, and her shirt slipped up a long way. She came out a second time with the belt on. So I see she's got one on straight away this time.
you know, she is really strong and very well accomplished for such a young lifter. I'm just always so hesitant to open on a world record.
Well, it's her own world record, but it is 178, so this is a long way ahead of it.
Well, doesn't seem to be any problems for her.
That was absolutely incredible.
And it's on the board.
She has pushed out her own open world record
I always like to be
by
proven
5
wrong.
kilos. Great position. She's such a strong lifter. So we go through now into round 2 of bench press. Kruger is leading the way. In fact, we've got the standings in bench coming up on the screen at the moment. Kruger from Aguinaga from Silbazan. In the overall, the situation is the same actually. Kruger from Aguinaga from Silbazan. And we have Lauren Elder. She's put a little bit more weight on it. She came out, she missed 92.5 on her opener, and this is 95. But I think there's 2 ways you can go in that situation, isn't there? You can release the shirt a bit, come out with the same weight.
Yeah, and
or
it's
put a bit more weight on it.
always such a difficult decision. Releasing the shirt can actually often be a bigger risk.
And I think she's got that.
I think so. She does. Yeah, and you make a good point. You can release the shirt or you can put more weight on. And releasing the shirt's always a tough one. Knowing how far to release.
Yeah. So she's on the board. And we have Frida Sundstrom coming out for 95 again.
Bar is loaded for Frida Sundström, Sweden. Kom igen nu.
Just giving some instructions on her lift-off. It's always good to remind the guys when you go out there for your second and third lift. So this is a case of just staying in control of the shirt.
Nice.
That looked absolutely spot on.
It's a good lift for Frida. Good job.
It's a really smooth touch.
Also, and now she's back in business.
Bar path is
107.5
the
kilos
same
for
all the way up as
Katrina
it was
Bar is
down.
loaded.
I just realised that Sonia Stephanie took her own bench world record, but she also took the bench-only record, which Matilda Vilmar set in Lithuania a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's got a sting.
So we have Catherine back now for 107.5. Matches her current PB. Again, you can see the shirt sliding.
Yeah, and
That's
you can
on the
see it's
descent.
making it very difficult
Yeah.
as well.
And referees say
A really would consider a bench belt if the shirt was moving around quite that much.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, opt away from a belt in bench because it does take up a lot of space and it can be difficult in position.
Yeah.
But we do have bench belts for that specific reason.
Bar is loaded for Kimberly Powell, Great Britain.
Here's Kimberly Cowell. She looked good for 115 on her opener. This is 120. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth all the way through.
good.
That looks pretty good.
That looks smooth.
We'll wait and see. It is. It's 3 white lights.
For Kimberly. 122.5 kilos for Cicera Tavares.
Yeah, no deviation in position there. Keeps everything planted where it needs to be.
Yeah, all the energy's going into the bar, which is where you want it.
Oh, I've just checked the British records. That was a new British record for Kimberly Cowell.
I imagine she'll be very happy with that.
We have Cicera Tavares from Brazil now for 122.5. Oh, no, that just went a little bit.
Yeah, she got speed off the chest. I just don't think she drove back as much as she did on the last. She's having a bit of a look at the bench. So I'm just wondering if she shifted a little bit.
Yeah, we're not going to see that one back. So we have Ines Kara from Austria
Bar is loaded for Ines Carver, Austria.
for 127.5.
And you can see how difficult mobility is to get your hands in the position on the bar when you're wearing a shirt.
It's one of your first indications of how tight the shirt is. Can
Yeah,
you get
if
your
you can
hands?
reach the 81
Yeah.
centimetre markers.
Really patient descent there. And she's rewarded with
Yeah,
a
she got
really strong
really
press.
good use out of the shirt on that one. That was a really nice example. Patiently brings the bar down. You can see the energy building up in it. And a good example of a bench belt there. A little bit narrower, just there to keep the shirt down.
Come on, Ivana.
Ivana Horner now for 130. We saw her absolutely smash her PB on the squat. I think she put something like 35 kilos on her squat PB.
That is huge.
She's got no trouble there using the big SBD belt.
Yeah, look, I bench in my SBD belt and I find it very comfortable.
Oh, that took a little bit of work to lock out. Yeah, I'm the same. I find the thinner bench belts don't keep my shirt down in quite the same way.
And
So
I think the thing I like about the SPD belt too is the adjustment on it. It's very simple, very easy, and I can change it between lifts as well.
So that was a good lift for Ivana, but you have to question how much more she has. But in equip benching, you know, there's a lot of adjustment you can do on the shirt.
Yeah, there's so much you can do to change things.
So we can see Carmen now coming out for 140 again, having missed it the first time.
Yeah, look, I mean, in equip lifting, this isn't going to bother you too much. You've missed your opener. Really just a few little adjustments. It's almost like fine-tuning a race car. You take it for a lap, make a few adjustments. Yeah, that's better. It's a nice touch there.
The right arm is...
Tough lockout.
Oh, it did go. I didn't think the right arm was going to go.
Got it there. Is it enough?
Good battle and referees
And we
say,
are waiting on the referees. Yes, it
2-1.
is.
It's a good lift.
good job, girl. Hoo-hoo. Season competition.
Gets it to the top and just manages to squeeze that lockout.
Bar is loaded.
Yeah, I think she did really well to keep pushing there.
Wallenberg, Aguinaga, get ready.
And we have Catherine Silbazan now, 142.5. She's currently in bronze medal position on... Well, she's currently 4th on bench. This will move her up to bronze medal position. But we've got another 3 lifters who've yet to put their bench in. And they're 3 good lifters as well, so you'd expect them to come back and nail it on their second.
Oh, that is tough. She didn't get much power off the chest, but somehow she
I don't know
managed to
how
get
she
that.
finished that off. It windmilled. The
It
side
did
swung
everything it
around.
shouldn't have done. The speed off the chest was very minimal.
People, you know what to do.
There it went, and it swung around to the side, and she managed to finish it off
Somehow
anyway.
she put it back to the top.
Very impressive. Eileen Scalaberg next for 150. Missed this on her opener. She's got a huge amount of support.
Yeah, it looks like they've changed the shirt position a little bit.
That's a tough one.
And
I think she's got it.
she gets it to the top. I think from this angle it looks good.
Referees say there is something wrong with the lights.
And
We
we're
have
going
to
to
go
the
to
flags.
flags.
It's a good
It's
lift.
a good lift. 3 white flags in this case. And that's a very popular lift. It was
Yeah.
tough though. Oh, she pushed it up.
Yeah,
didn't
she
get
just
a
did the
line
line.
right.
But you know, they've made a few little adjustments to the shirt at the back between the first lift and the second lift, and it's made the difference.
Johanna Aguinaga next, 165. She did 170 at the Pan Americans, won a class at that competition in Florida in August.
Oh, it's tough. I don't
I'm
know
not
if she's locked out
certain of
there.
lockout.
No, she hasn't got there.
I thought that the right arm was very slow to lock out, but the left arm just didn't
Yeah,
quite
the
make
left arm
it at
started to
all.
lock out, then it stopped locking out. And
It's not quite there. Anna Castellan, she's coming out for 167.5 again.
yeah, plenty of experience in this lifter. Plenty
just
of world
went over the
champion
top, I
experience
think.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, she's not going to let that bother her. She knows exactly what went wrong. She knows exactly how to correct it. It is not going to bother her at all.
Oh, how easy that
Yeah,
was.
look at the difference.
It's a good
nice.
And that is the experience. She knew exactly what the problem was on the first lift.
same way.
Wasn't concerned.
For Kelsey McCarthy, River Elder, get ready. Bar is loaded for Kelsey McCarthy, US Virgin Islands. Come on, Kelsey.
So that
Come on,
moved
people.
Anna Rosa up into second place. But we have Kelsey McCarthy also coming out for 167.5. So who's the lighter lifter? Kelsey's lighter than Anna Rosa. by nearly a kilo. So where two lifters select the same weights, the lower lot number goes first. Lot numbers are randomly assigned at weigh-in. But when two lifters lift the same weight, it's the lighter body weight that takes the advantage. Tucks in well. That looks lots better.
Yeah, I think she's managed that quite well. And she has
She's
3
on the board
lights.
and straight into second place on bench.
Then we have super
You know, and that is the whole thing with a quick bench, isn't it? I mean,
5 kilos.
you first lift, missed it, looks awful, and then
Smoked it on
second
your
lift,
second,
absolutely
yeah.
spot on the money.
So here we have Sonia Stephanie Kruger coming out for her 4th world record of the day. Is it 4?
Look, we're just having a world record sale here in Stavanger, Norway. Come on down to Stavanger, get your world record.
No, the 182 wasn't super easy, but I definitely wouldn't bet against this.
No, certainly not, and it's always difficult to judge in a quick bench as well. I mean, quite often you're using your first lift to then gauge where you want to adjust the shirt.
Yeah.
Just struggling to get the bar into position here. And she has it where she wants it now.
I think she got her right elbow out
Yeah,
of
you
shape on
could,
the descent.
you could just see it shift a little bit, couldn't you?
One more round to go.
She's still in gold medal position for the moment.
Yeah, you can see there, she gets a little bit out of position on the touch.
But we have to remind ourselves that she's attempting to do what no one has ever done before.
Yeah, it's an enormous lift. She already has the world record.
She has the world record in the 3 lift bench and the bench only, in the open and the juniors.
I've run out of fingers to count how many world records.
Of course, in the juniors, she has world records in 2 weight classes now. So we are now into the 3rd round of bench, and here's Lauren Elder. She got on the board with 95 on a second. This is 100. She hasn't benched this weight before. In fact, I think the most she's done up to now was 85. So she's already put 10 kilos on her PB.
Oh, you can see that shirt just flattening out of chest.
And she's fighting
She's
it.
still going. I think she's done
I
this.
think she has. It was a great battle.
Oh, she gets 2
I
red
think there
lights,
was downward
unfortunately.
movement. So we might see that better from the side view.
It's a tough touch.
Yeah, there it went.
A couple of times there.
So that leaves Lauren with a best of 95. That's still a 10 kilo PB on the world stage. Frida Sundstrom, 102.5. $7.5 kilo increase. She got 95 on a second.
Yeah, that was a well-chosen 3rd lift there. I think it should be good. It is. And she stays in position really well. Elbows stay in position all the way through.
So here's Kimberly Cowell coming out now for 122.5. She took the British record with her second, and she's looking to put another 2.5 kilos on it now.
Well, that'll certainly make her feel better after the hard time she had on squats.
It's a nice touch. And yeah, looks good.
Yeah, that moved really well. She kept the momentum going, even through the point that it wanted to stall out.
watching that back on the replay, keeps his chest nice and high.
Bar is loaded for Cicero Tavares,
Very
Brazil.
little movement of the body.
Vamos.
Nice press
Yeah,
up.
very well done.
Cicero Tavares, Brazil, for 122.5. Missed this last time. Well, that
Very
was,
straight press up.
yeah, but it was hardly any resistance from the shirt. It came straight down, but she
Yeah.
got a huge amount of pop anyway.
Yeah, it's quite interesting press technique. Let's have a look on the replay. She's very straight bar path down, very straight up as well. But it works, and it works successfully.
Austria.
Ines Kara, Austria, for 132.5. This will be a 5 kilo
5
PB.
kilos over her personal best. Come on.
Always nice to put on a personal best on the world stage, isn't it?
And it's a hard thing to do. There's a huge amount of pressure, and it's a difficult environment. Nice, patient touch. And the bar stalled a little bit.
Gets it to lock out, a little bit uneven, but gets there. There's nothing to say that your bar has to come up evenly, but she gets 2 red lights.
It's for blue. Blue card can be for downward movement of the bar.
I think
can
it
be
was
for
early on. It would
lockout,
just
so
catch just after it comes off the chest. I think there's a dip.
This is also 2.5 kilo over her personal
Yeah,
Yeah, right
best.
there.
okay.
So come on.
Tough to pick up sometimes for the referees. And the rule is the whole bar.
Yeah, it's if the side of the bar goes down, it's not an issue. But you do sometimes see that you get that verdict from one referee or the other. But here's Ivana Horner for 135. Her face always shows so much effort. And then you get the big smile at the end.
Let's see what referees say.
And 3 white lights.
That's a great lift. Small PB there as well for Ivana.
She's always so happy. 147.5 for Carmen Kalila. Preparing silver
Yeah, she had to
Scotland.
fight that to
Bar is
lock out.
loaded for Carmen Kalila, Estonia.
Yeah, look, it was a good choice of final lifts. You want that final lift to be work. I mean, you don't want to come out and do your final lift and it's pretty easy and you walk away thinking, oh, I could have done more.
Absolutely. But powerlifters being powerlifters, if you get the lift, you think you
You
could have
always
done more.
think I could have done more.
So we have Carmen Kalila for 147.5. So everyone got a bench in. That is never guaranteed.
Yeah, it's probably one of the toughest parts of equipped lifting, I think, is bench.
I would say it's one of the most exciting and strategic
Very much
aspects of
so.
powerlifting.
Yeah, you can see that shirt just pushed her out.
Something went wrong there. Sorry, no lift. But she has a result right there.
And it's a really tough thing in equipped bench is that shirt is trying to press you out as well. And you
You
can
have
see
to be
there.
the boss of it, and
You do, and
Stay
that's
in
actually a
control.
really good way to phrase it. You have to be the boss of it because it wants to do what it wants to do.
Bar is loaded for
So, Katrin Silpazan
Germany.
had a bit of a rough time on squats. She has come back and made it work on bench. I think her second wasn't easy. But as we know, there's a lot you can do with a bench shirt.
Yeah, there's just so many little things you can do, little tricks. You know, you can make adjustments that smooth things out. You can make adjustments to even something out. You can twist sleeves. You can pull collars down.
That came off the chest really well, but it's not
Just
quite going to
not
go
quite
to
the
lockout.
lockout.
Leaves her with the best of 142.5. That's a shame because she got it off the chest really quite well, but just didn't have enough underneath it to drive it home.
Yeah.
Eileen Scalaberg next for 157.5. She missed her opener at 150, nailed it for a second attempt, and she's gone up to 157.5 now. Make no mistake, these are huge weights. These lifters
Absolutely
are below
enormous.
69 kilos in body weight, and this is 157 kilos.
I mean, just holding this in your hands is a lot.
It's a peculiarity of the bench shirt, though. You hold the bar in your hands and it feels like the whole world, but as soon as you start to tuck in and pull it down, it all makes sense. Hopefully. Ah, that's tough. Yeah.
Just a little bit hard there.
So that leaves her with the best of 150. She hasn't placed in the bench. She's in 4th overall right now.
Huge weight in the bar for the last 4 lifters.
You know, just look at the nominations for the next few lifters here. 15 minutes ago, 180 would have been a world record attempt.
Yeah,
You know you're in a tough field when you've got to put up a number that would have been a world record 15 minutes ago, but now it's not even going to get you the gold.
We have Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador coming out again for 165. Wasn't quite there on a second.
Yeah, look, I think on this one, just need to slow it down a bit. Don't be in too much of a rush. You know, focus on all the
Has she got
elements.
slippers on? Fast descent.
Yeah, and
I
part
don't
of
know
that
from
is
that angle.
that is part of the issue as well, I think.
Let's see the...
No,
Yeah.
I think that was
We
a
couldn't tell from
downward
the angle
movement,
we
I think.
saw that, but if we watch the replay back, yep,
Yeah.
went down. I think it was lockout on the second, wasn't it?
Yeah, her fast descent probably isn't really helping her that much.
So we have both Anna Castellane and Kelsey McCarthy both coming out for 160. They both got 167.5 on their second. So this is going to be a really tight race with these two, I think. Anna Castellane is heavier, but she has the lower lot number. So the advantages go both ways there.
Yeah, it's quite a big jump too. And I think, I mean, Anna Castellane, she's been here before. This is not new territory for her. She was the world record holder.
That's a hard touch. Oh, she's lost
yep.
it.
And you could see
That's a shame.
yeah, you could see the bench shirt there.
It was,
It's
yeah.
Just gets that
flattening
point
her
there,
out.
comes forward. Yeah, it's a really tough one.
So she's still in silver medal position overall at the moment, bronze on bench. This will move Kelsey. Kelsey's got the bench silver, but I think this will move her up. It will. It'll move her up in the overall.
Yeah, so this won't change her bench position at all. She has
So
the silver.
I think we're settled on the bench medals now.
But these few extra kilos are going to be very, very handy coming into the deadlift.
And that's a really good point. It's individual lift medals are great, but it's the World Championship title that's the real prize.
Oh, she handled the touch well. Has
That's a
she got the
tough
grind?
press. Oh, that's
I
a
don't
real
think she can lock out
fight,
the
but
right.
It's not quite going to lock out. Not quite.
Yeah,
So-
didn't quite get there.
We have one more bench to go.
Not just one more bench, one more world record bench.
So we have Kruger now coming out for her second attempt at 187.5 to extend her own multiple world record,
I've
junior
run out of
open
fingers to
single
count
lift.
on. You know what? And I was really happy to be proven wrong. She came out and opened on a world record. And it's always a risk, but she proved me wrong, and I was happy to be proven wrong. And now here we are at 187.5. So this will be a World Open, World Junior, World Open bench only.
No,
No,
not
it's
quite.
just a bit too
not
much
quite.
today. She'll have to settle for 182 and a half.
But you know, that's about £410 in her hands.
Absolutely monstrous.
And she took the gold medal with her opener and the world record. So that is some phenomenal lifting there from this young lifter. And it's going to be close. It's going to be really close going into the rest of the competition.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, we've got some really strong deadlifters there. I mean, Stephanie Kruger is certainly not safe.
No, I don't think she is.
You know, she's in a good position, but she's certainly not safe at the moment. And you know, we've seen what happens on the deadlift. People get a sniff of a medal, and suddenly you're adding 20 kilos to something you shouldn't have been able to do in the first place. So
So we're going to take a 20-minute break now, and you really won't want to miss deadlifts. Welcome back to an action-packed session here in Stavanger, Norway. This is the IPF World Open Equipped Powerlifting Championships, and we have the 69 kilo class on the platform at the moment, and we're through to the deadlift part of the competition. And Gary, I lost count of the world records we saw.
I have run out of fingers. I'm pulling out my abacus right now to see if I can calculate. It's been an absolute bonanza. The whole week has been a world record bonanza, but today has probably been, I think, probably one of the most in regards to world records. Action-packed is probably the understatement of the century, I think. And what's really interesting is, I mean, if you look at the board at the moment, and because I mean, obviously the big goal is the total. You want the world championship overall, not the individual medals. You know, Kruger's come into this and she's just hitting world records left, right and centre, but she's a long way from being safe in this event.
Well, she is, because Gary, I've just seen a bunch of changes sweep across the table, and Anna Castellane's now opening at 205, which will move her ahead of Kruger, who's dropped from 190 to 175.
So all of a sudden...
And Kelsey's gone up as well. Kelsey McCarthy's gone up to a 200 opener.
And Bucker's put hers up to 215 as well, so we might be giving the world record a bit of a nudge there.
I think we're going to have to stay on our toes here to keep track, because Bach is an M1, so she's looking at the M1 world records as well. Kruger is a junior, as well as taking the open records, so we're going to have to stay on our toes to keep on top of this.
Yeah, so currently the world junior total record is 610.5, so if Kruger hits her opening lift, she sets the world record for the juniors. If Castellane hits her opening lift, she's only 7.5k off the open total record.
Yeah.
Okay, first three lifters.
So
I think we're going to need an assistant to manage the world records at the moment.
So we are ready to go now, and we are opening with Ines Cara at 170. PB is 182.5.
Yeah, the focus here in the opening round of your deads is to get an easy one on the board, and that is absolutely spot on.
Exactly how you want that to look.
Yeah, look, you've come all this way. The last thing you want to do is get to the deadlift is risk not being able to put a total on the board.
Especially if you've taken a world record in a previous lift, because you have to put a total together in order to claim that world record.
And you can see, you know, Kruger has done that really smart thing there.
Yep.
She's dropped her opening deadlift, knowing that she's got to put it on the board to get those world records.
Carmen Kaljula, Estonia, for 175.
And you'll see in deadlifts, you'll see a lot of different belt positions in deadlift, and that's really about being able to get that big breath of air in and still get down to the bar.
That
and
didn't quite work
right
out
there.
for
Let's just have a
Carmen.
look at that. It moved really fast off the floor.
She just seemed to...
Yeah, I think something felt a little bit uncomfortable. I think she made a decision. Something feels uncomfortable. I'm not going to take any risks. I'll reset and do it again.
So here's Sonia Stephanie Kruger. She initially had 190 in, but as you said, I think she's doing the smart thing here. Put 175 on. Let's cement all those records, and this gives her a new total junior world record anyway.
Yeah, and this is really important here. There is no point of having done all that work and then risk missing all those world records.
She set the total world record in Pilsen in August, and then she set the total world record in the class above in Romania. Easy.
And that was exactly what you'd expect. 3 white lights, she solidifies a total. She solidifies those world records now.
Ticked all those boxes. She's made absolutely certain that she's going home with those world records.
Now they can go at the back. Now they can start doing the numbers.
Next we have Kimberly Cowell of Great Britain. She had a bit of a difficult time on squat. She came back strong on bench, taking the British record.
Yeah, her benches were looking really good.
On there. I'm just going to have a quick look where the British record... That's 200. That might be a little bit of a way up the road. She's done 190 in competition before, so 180 should move well.
bit tough
A
on
bit
the
of a
lockout
wobble at the
there.
top.
Yeah,
she's
just didn't lock out properly, I don't think.
One blue and one red flag.
just
Yeah, there's a bit of downward movement at the bar. Struggle to get the hips through.
Same weight. And bar is loaded for
but she's got another couple of goes at that. Strength was there. And we have Johanna Aguinaga from Ecuador next for the same weight, 180.
So 195 has been on her list, so we certainly haven't seen much in the way of conventional lifting this week.
We haven't. I do like a conventional deadlift. You get much less out of the suit. That's the reason why most people lift sumo. But it all depends on your leverages and your individual anatomy, which works best for you. And here's Lauren Elder, Great Britain.
Lauren Elder, Great Britain.
We know she's a great deadlifter. She's built to deadlift, really. She's got those long limbs, really long femurs. We've seen a lot of the best deadlifters.
Yeah, and that is one of the things about deadlift. You really are designed for a specific way, and as you said, it depends on your biomechanics, whether you're conventional or sumo.
That wasn't quite as easy as I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't in any doubt.
She has quite a high starting position with her sumo. She doesn't really sit right down into it, but it's working quite well. It suits her levers quite well.
And bar is loaded. Sundström and Skallenberg prepare.
Catherine Silbazan next for 190.
Yeah, she's had a very mixed day, I suppose.
Yeah, not everything's gone her way. Squats weren't terribly easy. And there we go. After saying that we haven't seen many conventional deadlifts, here's another one. And that looked tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to judge when you're putting your numbers for your opening deadlift how much the rest of the day has taken out of you so far. That's why it's so important to be a little bit extra conservative sometimes on that opening deadlift, particularly if you've got records on the line. Because quite often it's not until you walk out and go to lift it that you realise how much energy you've lost.
And here is Frida Sundström. Again, she's not had the easiest time today, but it's not an easy sport.
It is certainly tough out there.
But that was lovely.
Yeah, that was very well selected.
And it's a good lift for Frida.
Yeah, you're right. It's not an easy sport. I've said to a number of athletes over the years, if it was easy to be a world champion, then everyone would be it.
Eileen Skallenberg, 197.5. She did 212.5 in Dubai.
Yeah, so we're getting up pretty close to that. This one on the board, and then you can look at getting yourself a personal best.
Nice. There we go. She has a total. Now she can look around to see.
Yeah, and that is the whole point. Get that first one on the board. You solidified your total. Now you can start looking at the numbers. Where can I move up the rankings? Can I take a run at the medals? What can I do?
And here's Kelsey McCarthy, one of the challengers for first place. She's opening at 200. We know she's pulled 227.5 in the past, full 500 pounds. I do think that was a couple of years ago. There's no point looking at positions yet in the first round of deadlifts. We'll take a look at that in the second round. But that was nice and easy.
Yeah, that was a well selected opening lift. Now you're on the board. Now you can let the games begin.
We have Anna Castellane coming out now for 205. Now, she initially had 119 as her opener, and she's gone all the way up to 205, so she's really challenging first place now.
I think she's changed that. She's got it out the back after a bench. She's probably feeling really good. Energy levels are high. You know, I'm still being a little bit conservative with my opener here, but I want that bit extra.
She did 225 at the Pan Americans in 2019. I don't think she's been close to this weight since. But 205 should look good, hopefully.
Yeah, she looks very energetic. She's been looking very strong today.
That looked nice.
Yeah, no major issues. It was smooth all the way through.
And I love that noise she makes when she deadlifts. I really do.
You know, and look, you might look at that deadlift if you're not familiar and think it looked a bit slow for an opener. Generally, that's how her deadlifts look.
Yeah, I think she's got plenty more there. But now, big deadlifter, Ivana Horner, 215. Now, I can never call how hard deadlifts are for Ivana. They often look tough.
Yeah.
And I think her expressions
I
make
think
it
she
look harder.
oversells the toughness there, you know.
So that's a great opener there for Ivana.
That's to ensure her competitors don't realise how much more she's got left.
And now we have the deadlift world record holder. Masters lifter, but still holds the open world record.
Yeah, you talk about big deadlifters. 233 kilos is the world record.
Didn't move super quick, but it's such an efficient movement. She did get one red light for lockout there.
Yeah, and that was
shoulders,
that
I
was
think.
from the centre referee. And if the shoulders aren't evidently really back, to the centre referee, it can look like the hips aren't locked out.
So we have another Masters lifter now coming out for 215. So we need to keep an eye on those Masters deadlift and total records.
So the current Masters total record 582.5, and the deadlift is 233.
A little way off on the total. And there's certainly a lot more to come there as well.
Yeah, there's plenty of room to move.
Slow off the floor, but just went straight to lockout as soon as it started moving. So these are the positions on deadlift at the moment. We have 3 lifters on the same weight. So that will go on body weight, with Catherine Back being the lightest, Tavares next, and Horner being the heaviest of the lifters to pull 215. We go into the second round now with Carmen Calyula. She missed this on her opener.
Yeah, it was really quite interesting. She pulled it quite fast off the floor, got about halfway up, and then just put it back down again, and it looked like
externally it looked like she just stopped and changed her mind and put it down, but obviously there would be something going on to cause that, but it wasn't obvious from the outside what that was. Oh no.
And she's just having trouble with the grip on that second one.
That's a real shame.
So sorry, Noli.
She didn't make a squat either, so she's unable to make a total anyway.
Yeah, look, and that makes it really hard to focus as well when you know you can't put a total on. Getting that focus, getting that extra bit out of you can be quite the challenge.
Ines Kara, Austria, for 180. She's gone up 10 kilos. And that was justified by the look of that. That was a great second lift. They have a celebration as she leaves the platform there.
Same weight for Kimberly Powell, bar Kimberly Cowell,
Yeah,
great
handled that
first.
very, very well.
So Kimberly Cowell, 180. She missed this on her opener. I'm not entirely, I can't, was it on lockout? Oh, she lost her balance just
Yeah,
slightly at the
I'm
top,
just trying
wasn't
to
it?
recall.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a little movement at the top, so lockout was a little bit off. But that's often the case with sumo deadlifts, a little bit of a balance issue. Should be fine this
Yeah,
time.
and look, that was a completely different lift.
Yep, and
Yeah,
she's
three
on the
white
board.
lights.
She also has a total now on deadlift.
So we have Johanna
190 for
Aguinaga
Johanna Krüger and Elder.
for 190.
Bars loaded for Johanna Aguinaga, Ecuador. Vamos, chica.
So just shy of her personal best.
That was quite a noise she made there. That looked good. I think that was just a moment of, oh, just let me get this.
You know, we talked the other day about how deadlift is very habitual, and everyone has their own little habit, unique thing they like to do before a deadlift, and it's probably the most habitual of all the lifts, I think.
So I missed actually that Anna Castellane moved into the lead with her opening deadlift. This is Sonia Stephanie Kruger. This takes the open world
Yeah, so this will give
record, does
the
it? Where is
world
it?
total. Yeah, this will give you the world total open and junior record.
And that chip really helps at this point, doesn't it? There it is, but that looked hard.
That was tougher than any other lift she's done today, I think. But she gets it there.
Don't think she's got an awful lot left after that. But that gave her the open world record.
Yeah, and we'll see how long she holds on to that open world total record, because Castellane is looking to take that back.
Well, you know, it looked like that Kruger was going to have it all her own way today, but it's turned into a real battle at the end. Here's Lauren Elder for 195.
Oh, those knees locked out far too early.
Do you know what? I think even though she didn't get that quite right, I thought she was going to get it. It was a shame her grip
She
went at the
kept
end
going.
there. Because look, she was way forward there, but she managed to pull it back
Yeah,
anyway.
somehow she still pulled it to the top. Just the grip couldn't quite hold on.
So I'm sure she'll come back and have another go at that. Catherine Silbazan, 200.
Platform crew just giving the bar a bit of a clean, getting everything ready.
Bar is loaded for Catherine Silberzon, Germany.
And you'll see all these women walk out with white powder on their legs. That is talcum powder, just to help the bar slide up a little bit easier.
Especially when you're in equipment, you do sweat quite a bit when you're lifting, and the bar will take all the skin off your legs without that talc. And you don't want anything to impede the movement of the bar. That looked like a good lift there for Silbazan.
Yeah, that was very smooth. Looked about the same speed as her opener.
205 kilos for Frida Sundström, Skallenberg, and Mark Harty.
Frida Sundström, 205. She's gone up a full 12.5 kilos.
That is a pretty solid jump.
It
And
is.
this will put her into personal best territory.
Sweden. Come in, Frida. Come on, people. Are you sleeping? What?
she was a little bit wobbly on lockout there.
And she gets it on the board.
2-1, good lift. 1 red card for lockout. And we have the immensely popular Eileen Scalaberg next for 207.5. She's in 4th place overall. I think she needs to do quite a lot of work to move onto the podium.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 18 kilos different there. I mean, it's certainly not in the realms of impossibility.
But you would have to rely on your other competitors missing all their lifts, which does happen.
That's why it's just so important just to play your game, your plan.
Slow and steady.
And it's a good lift.
So she's done her part.
Yeah, look, she's doing
got
her
within
job.
reach.
And that's the best she can do, is to do her job.
We have Kelsey McCarthy next for 212.5.
So this is a really important second lift here because it's so tight at the top. Any missed lift is going to put you in jeopardy. So every kilo counts.
From 3rd place to 2nd place. Bar is loaded for Kelsey McCarthy, Virgin Islands.
So if she gets this, she moves ahead of Anna Rosa, but Anna Rosa is still to do her second deadlift. I can hear shouts of easy weight from the crowd. I believe me, it isn't. That's a very big deadlift indeed.
Oh, I reckon she was happy to get that down command then.
She was.
And
I think
unfortunately,
they considered that she did
didn't
not
control.
return the bar to the platform under control, and you can see that she falls as she goes. That's a real shame.
Well,
So we have Anna Rosa Castellane next, and this will retake the world total record and move her back into 1st place.
and McCarthy, having just missed that lift, may have opened the door a bit as well.
I think so, because you're fighting for 1st place, but you're also defending against the people trying to compete.
Scalaberg is right behind her now. But right now, a world total record attempt.
Oh, look at that.
There is
That's
so
superb.
much more room to move, isn't there?
I think she has sent a message to the young pretender.
Plenty left.
That looked always so much more convincing than Kruger's second. Wow, so we still have quite a few deadlifts to go in the second round. This is Ivana Horner. Her first looked superb. This is 222.5.
Yeah, she a very good deadlifter.
This will take the lead in the deadlift podium. She's a little bit off the pace in the overall.
Well, she gets it to the top well. What do the referees say? 3 white lights. And this is the whole thing. We talk about people coming to these competitions with their own goals, their own plans, and hers is going very well.
I would be amazed if she didn't have a crack at the deadlift record on her next. But in the meantime, we have Catherine Back, and it's Catherine Back's record. So she's going to take 22.5 as well to take the lead back as she's lighter. She always looks at the bottom of the lift like she's out of position.
Yeah,
it
and
just
somehow
goes-
it just all works itself out, doesn't it?
Then there is Sarah, 225.
Yeah, she has a very interesting style.
Clearly works very well for her. She's the deadlift world record holder right now. Might not be the case in 20 minutes.
Yep. Well,
Sarah Tavares for 225. This will move her into the lead on deadlift. Really hard to break from the floor.
yeah, and when it comes to sumo, patience is a virtue. And she was patient.
That regains the deadlift gold. 4 red plates on the bar. So we've seen that Catherine Back has put in a world record attempt for a third. Ivana Horner hasn't, interestingly.
Yeah, I
thought
mean,
she
she still
would.
may change yet.
So these are the overall standings you have on your screen at the minute. Anna Castellane is 2 kilos ahead of Kruger. And McCarthy is a little bit off the pace now. She's going to have work to do if she's going to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, Skellerberg is right behind her right
She
now.
is. She could sneak a podium
we
place.
know, the sniff of a medal can suddenly add so much more.
So Carmen Cagliula now. She has not managed to get
Yeah,
a
it
deadlift
has
on the
been a
board
very,
yet.
very tough day. I'm sure she'd like to finish on a high note. It's really come down to grip.
And she
think
pulled it
she's
quickly.
got that one.
I think that was a good tactic.
She has. She gets it on the board. You can see the relief on her face. I think it's a bit of relief. Yes, I got that. And oh my gosh, it's over.
So we have Ines Cara from Austria for 187.5. She's had a great day. She's looked strong today.
Yeah, everything's moving quite well.
Bar is loaded for Ines Carrer, Austria. Come on, Ines.
This will be a very nice personal best to finish on. Oh, that looks convincing.
Really nice.
And she's pretty excited with that.
190 for Kimberly Powell.
Okay, we have Kimberly Cowell from Great Britain now coming out for 190. I think this will extend her own British total record. If she gets it, I think it matches her current PB on deadlift. But it'd be great to take home a total PB.
Yeah, well, this will give her 507.5, a previous 505. Yeah, she didn't get off to the greatest of starts today, but she has turned it around.
Oh, it's
She
not
just got
quite
out of
going.
position there. No, not quite.
195 for Lauren Elder. Akinaka,
Yeah, just bit of a missed time between the knees and the hips, and makes it very hard to pull from that position.
Lauren Elder is out next.
Personal best. So put your hands together. Bar is loaded for Lauren Elder, Great Britain.
So she missed this last time. Her grip went, didn't it?
Yeah, she just
was a
wasn't able
little
to
bit
hang
out
on
of
to it.
shape, but she looked strong enough. But her grip went
Yeah, look,
at the last.
she's got the strength. It's not a problem. But yeah, towards the end of the day, it becomes very hard to hang on to this bar. Your hands begin to cramp a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Mike Gibson shouting patience from the back, but she's holding a hand out. It's a grip that's betrayed her. If we watch that right hand, yeah, there it goes. And you can't continue to produce force once your grip's going. Johanna
Johanna Iguanaga.
For 195. Oh, and she's grinding through it. Wow, I thought that had come to a complete stop at her knees.
And she's really happy with that final lift.
Absolutely, it gets to her knees,
It
stops
almost stops completely.
and she gets it moving again and takes it all the way. Okay, we have the incredible Sonia Stephanie Kruger. Let's not forget, she is still a junior lifter.
So this will be for the world total record open and the world junior total record as well.
With her squat world record, her bench world record.
And this will be a world junior deadlift record as well.
And she has competed 6 times. This is her 7th competition in about 3 months on the international stage. Oh, wow! She
Just couldn't
so
quite
close.
hold it there.
So close. That would move way quicker than I did not expect her to get that far with it, if I'm honest. I thought it was going, and
Yeah,
she
just
just
got
couldn't
to that
get
sticking
through.
point and couldn't pull it through.
So she can't do better than silver now in the overall, which I know she'll be disappointed with. But she has a whole bag of medals.
You know, look, you know you're in a really
records to
tough field
take
when you
home.
break that many world records
Yep.
and you still can't finish number 1. That is one tough field.
So we have Catherine Silbazan coming out next for 207.5. Her 200 looked good, actually. This won't get her on the podium, but it'll move her ranking up.
Yep, this is all about personal goals now. Oh, she's given it everything.
Wow,
It's
what a
still
fight.
moving. I don't think it's going to
not
go,
gonna
though.
go all the way. What a shame.
She
That was so
gave
close.
that everything to finish on. She can walk away from this competition knowing that she gave everything she had.
And it's so easy to say from here, 205 would probably have gone. Hindsight is much easier than foresight.
Yeah, we have the advantage of sitting here and
We have a very comfy spot and a ringside seat for the best show in the world. So it's easy for us to say, well, you know, a little bit more might have been good. So we have Frida Sundstrom, 212.5. This is a big jump.
yeah, it is a big jump. It'll be big personal best as well. It won't really do a whole lot in regards to rankings.
Feels a little bit ambitious. Oh, but she's got it going. Oh, what a shame.
She gets it to the top, but
Yeah,
there
she
looked to be
knows
quite a
there
bit of
was something
downward
down.
movement there, yeah. But
It's the cruelest rule of all.
it is a
the
tough one,
downward
isn't it?
movement rule. Because it doesn't help the lifter when the bar goes up and down. But it is the rule, it's the rule in every lift. So we are now through to the battle for the fronts. This is Kelsey McCarthy.
Yeah,
She's
no, she
coming out.
missed her second, and this has become ever so important now. Because
But she's not increased it, she's not pulling for position.
and
She's defending, isn't she?
she's defending, because Skullerberg is just a couple of kilos behind.
Yeah, so she's defending against the Norwegian lifter. She wants to stay on the podium. She feels like first and second are a bit out of reach, but she wants to keep the podium.
This is about getting in that top 3. Oh, just
again.
can't hold the grip. And it is such a thing that happens towards the end of the day. As you get tired towards the end of the day, you put in so much. Your grip is one of the first things to start to give in a little bit.
and the equipment does not help you with holding onto the bar.
Your hands begin to cramp, it becomes difficult.
So McCarthy cannot do better than bronze now, but she's not safe because here comes Eileen Scallerberg to take that podium position
Yeah,
away.
I said she was only a few kilos behind, and she has played to her strengths so well. We always say, just do your job and wait and see. She's done her job, and now she has an opportunity.
This is a big ask, but she's got her hometown crowd behind her.
We know what the sniff of a podium finish can do for someone.
She's got her family in the front row. The crowd are on their feet. Can she do it?
Patience is a virtue.
Oh no,
Not
it's
quite
not
there.
quite there.
So
But
McCarthy holds
she can
on.
be proud of her performance. 4th place in a field with Castellane and Kruger and McCarthy is a real achievement.
Absolutely unbelievable, and I think she probably gave McCarthy quite the nervous minute
did.
or so there.
But she was only 5 kilos behind getting on the podium there. So we now have Anna Castellane. She is the new world champion in the 69 kilo class.
And
But she wants to knock that world record a bit further up
yeah,
the
this will
road.
take it to 6:35. If anyone could do it, she has been on fire today.
Her second was superb.
Oh, I just couldn't quite hold on to it.
She just lost her balance a little
Yeah.
bit there, I think.
She's okay.
But you know what?
What
She's
a
the new world
champion, though. I mean, she has been absolutely on fire today, and she played a really good game as well. She never really looked like she was playing for the gold. She just put her numbers in,
Yep.
she did her job, played to
Built
her
a
strength, and
total.
just waited for the opportunity. And there she is.
Okay, we just had a change, I think. Yep. Well, is this still for Horner?
So at the moment, we're still on Ivana Horner, I think.
Catherine Back's changed. We're just seeing some changes flood through. We've got 3 more lifts to go, and this is all about the deadlift position. This doesn't change the overall positions, but we still have the deadlift podium to sort out. So we saw a couple of changes, but this is Ivana Horner coming out for
Yeah, so this will
227.5.
put her into the gold medal for deadlift. Oh, that moved well. I
What do
think
we
that should
think?
be a good lift. It
That's
is.
a good lift. She has her foot on the top step of the podium. Will anyone knock her off?
That's the lead in deadlift, but there are 2 lifts to go.
Next up, Catherine Back. She's dropped her attempt. She wants to take the gold. She initially had 233.5 in to extend her own world record, but she's brought that down.
Yeah, look, she's now looking, well, you know what, there's an opportunity here to take the gold medal in the deadlift. I already have the world record.
But it's a tense game as well, isn't it? Because that forces Tavares to do more.
Come on, Catherine! Put the deadlift machine on!
Here we go, 227.5, 500 pounds. And that start position always looks like she's just missed, and she
But
manages
she
to pull
gets
that
it
all the
all
way.
just works itself
Yeah.
out, doesn't it? So she
she's
puts
back in
herself in
front.
the front.
Moves Horner down to silver for the moment.
And I half expected a bit of change in there, but she's going for the world
Yeah,
record.
Tavares says, I'm not happy with just the deadlift gold. I want the world record as well.
So we have 233.5. This is for the deadlift world record and for the deadlift gold medal. If she misses this, she takes the bronze in the deadlift.
She's on the podium. We have yet to determine what colour her medal will be. Deadlift gold, world record.
Bar is loaded for
And she's a master's lifter too, 45 years old. This will be the M1 as well as the open record.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And she's brought some intensity with her,
vamos.
She looks focused.
and she's going to need every bit of it.
Settles herself down, sits back into it. Starts her pull. It's moving.
Oh, just not quite there though. Just
Leaves her
couldn't
with
hold it.
Best of 225 and the bronze
Bronze
medal.
medal.
And that means that Catherine Back took the gold. But of course the big news is Anna Rosa Castellane once more.
What a way to
equipped
finish.
world
Another
champion.
world championship to add to that book of hers.
That was a superb session. I could not have called how that was going to go at the beginning, but we've seen some phenomenal lifting, more world records than I can possibly count. And we are not done yet. We are going to have the medal ceremony. I hope you'll stick around for that. And then in about half an hour, we will start the next session with the 63 and 83B groups. Join us then.
the victory ceremony of 69 kilogram category, women. And the medals will be given first the participation medals by Mr. Farsi Tani, Iran, and Mr. Gaston Paras, our IPF president. And first the participation medals to everybody. So we start with the squat medals. Bronze medal from squat with 245 kilograms squat goes to Eline Skallenberg, Norway. Silver with 247.5 kilograms squat goes to Anna Castelline, Brazil. And gold medal with 255.5 kilos, world record to Sonja Stefanie Krüger, Germany. Thank you, ladies. Then we have the bench press. Bronze medal with 167.5 kilos goes to Anna Castelline, Brazil. Silver medal with same weight but lighter on body weight to Kelsey McCarthy, US Virgin Islands. And the bench press gold medal goes to Sonja Stefanie Krüger, Germany. It's a new world record, of course. Thank you, ladies. Then, deadlift medals. Bronze with 225 kilos goes to Cicera Tavares from Brazil. Silver medal with 227.5 kilos to Ivana Horna, Slovakia. And the deadlift gold medal also with 227.5 but lighter on body weight to Katrin Bach from Denmark. Thank you, ladies. Then total results. Bronze with 607.5 kilograms total goes to Kelsey McCarthy, US Virgin Islands. Silver medal with 628 kilos total to Sonja Stefanie Gruber, Germany. And world champion 2021 in Stavanger with 630 kilograms total is Anna Castellain from Brazil! Please stand up for National Anthem of Brazil.
Pela própria natureza, és velho e forte, pobre do colosso. Se o teu futuro espelha essa grandeza, terra adorada, entre outras mil és do Brasil, a pátria amada, dos filhos desses olhas mães, gentil, pátria amada, Brasil, é nóis!
Congratulations, ladies. Thank you, Brazilian lifters. It was refreshing. Few more pictures of the medalists.